crying because I'm going to outsell. What? Y'all don't even want me to drop that album. Crying because I'm going to outsell. I'm going to outsell. I'm going to have to be on top. That's a fact. Y'all never watch the Afraid of Y'all Parents when they say what you be wishing for is not what y'all. I understand when my fans ask for my album because duh. But when my arms ask for my album, like, why? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when I drop my album? You think it's going to flop? You know it's not going to flop.
And that clip right there is exactly why Cardi B is being dragged. She literally was talking to a Barb in that clip and told them that she is going to outsell. She was real confident about it, real cocky, that she was going to outsell Nicki Minaj. So all of you Cardi fans saying that Cardi doesn't care about numbers and she taught y'all not to care about numbers, that's a fucking lie. Because she's been keeping up with the tracking all week and she's been saying she's going to outsell Nicki Minaj. That's her goal. And here are some more receipts, because just the other day, Cardi B was being dragged by the Barbs because of the 205K prediction. And she ended up saying, don't listen to them, y'all. Trust, they'll cry the loudest next week. We're going to do amazing, and I'm so proud of y'all. Keep buying. We got this. Basically insinuating that she's going to outsell, and you still didn't outsell. And y'all are still saying that she does not care about numbers and she doesn't care about outselling Nicki Minaj. That's been her goal the whole time. She's been arguing with Barb's nonstop and keeping up with Barb Twitter. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj continue to go at it, and Nicki said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, falling off the charts with a big belly, running trains, barefoot, still smelly, still you could not outsell me. Oh! Then Nicki Minaj posted this picture of Cardi as Barney and Jay-Z with a Barb wig on. Now, this is when Nicki got nasty, and she said, raw dog and pregnant with the fourth baby, Barney BV HPV, allegedly. Cardi then responds and she says, all right now, this is the third tweet you talking about my pregnancy, like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors and you couldn't produce from all them perks scrambling your eggs, not allegedly. Lord protect my babies. Cardi is giving very much so you're about to get sued, because that doesn't even sound anywhere near believable. Since when does Nicki do perks? Now, this is when Cardi B claps back about the album, and she said, why do you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those numbers are who you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the fuck is you comparing yourself to me for? I'm trying to go to sleep. Like, can y'all wrap this up? Like, y'all been arguing all night. Like, I'm laughing, I'm keying, but y'all, I'm gonna keep y'all updated. Y'all, no shade.
And I rushed to the studio to do this verse for her in time for the first week sales, whatever. And
Airtime.
Yeah, for Airtime remix. And literally like 2 days later, I'm all over the internet, I'm being called pussy.
So as you can see, Latto has now had an interview and confirmed that those disses were in fact for Cardi B, as we already knew. In the interview, Latto made it clear she is not accepting that bag whatsoever, and that she hasn't spoke to Cardi B since that audio leaked of her calling her pussy ass Latto. Latto pretty much feels used because she ran to the studio to get the Airtime verse done for her album first week sales, and then a couple of days later, an audio comes out of Cardi calling her pussy ass Latto. And I'm not even a Latto fan, but seeing people jump on Latto and not Cardi in this situation is just crazy to me. Like, y'all bitches are under psychosis, because the only reason Cardi B apologized is because she got caught right-handed. She's not sorry. She's sorry she got caught. 90% of the people who are saying that Latto should forgive her are the same people who would not accept that in their real life. Someone talking behind your back is still someone talking behind your back. I have told you guys multiple times, Cardi B gives a nice nasty set when it comes down to these female rap friendships and friendships in general. She's the type of girl to sit and be friends with you while collecting all the tea that you spew to her. Babes, no shade. This entire female rap unity, girl stuff, it's literally dead. None of these girls like each other for real, for real. All of them are in secret competition with each other. There's like only one female rapper out of the bunch that is not afraid to admit that they don't like somebody. Y'all all let me know what y'all are thinking. This is a hot mess, but it was expected.
All right, let's get into this poppin' tea. If you're new to this channel, I personally like to welcome you. I'm Sonia, and I'm a nutrition coach. I help women over the age of 40 lose body fat. I often come on here and talk about social commentary, which we can use in our personal lives to elevate our mental and spiritual. And with that being said, let's get into this Latto and Cardi B situation. And once again, if you're looking for your free consultation for the summer and you're trying to get your body right, please go to my website at www.redefinebodyalchemy.com so that you can get your free consultation and get your body right for the summer. So anyways, let's get into it. So recently, as we all heard on social media, that Latto went on the Breakfast Club and she was talking about her new album. Now she has a song called on her album called "Gimme That," and what she explains her not necessarily her beef, but her basically her confronting the situation when Cardi B called her out on a leaked audio saying that she's a pussy ass. I'm not pussy like Latto. And I don't know if I can say that here online, but I'm going to say it for contest reference. And so, of course, Latto felt some type of way about it, so she addressed it on her album and basically called Cardi B out. And she explained on the Breakfast Club that she was referencing to Cardi when it came down to that particular situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and read her lyrics off of "Gimme That," and then I'm gonna read out Cardi B's apology, and then I'm going to give you my commentary, what other people missed when they came down to the Latto and Cardi B situation. So let me go ahead and get into the lyrics. So this is what she said here. She says, "Bitch said what? Let's clock it. Really got a Hermes store in my closet. Talking about buying Big Mama back like my nigga ain't already bought it. Like my nigga ain't coming off Rex. Big bank over here, big facts. Wish a bitch would get in that booth." So that reference to Cardi when she came out with that leaked audio referencing to Latto being a pussy. And so this is her apology letter. She says, I truly understand how you feel. And that's exactly why I choose to apologize publicly. Because the disrespect, now we're going to get into how this is insincere in regards to this apology. But anyways, let me hold that thought. Publicly, because the disrespect became public. On that call, I didn't even mean to call you that. I didn't mean any harm. There's a difference in what I said versus what I meant. What I could have said was that you're too forgiving and gave too much mercy in that situation. But now what she's referring to is the beef between Latto and Ice Spice at one point. But it was a heated conversation and I let my mouth get the best of me. When the call came out, I was 8 months pregnant and just released my album and I was extremely overwhelmed and emotional. That was not to excuse what I said, but to let you know where I was in my head. I generally felt bad about what happened in 2025 and 2026. I made multiple attempts to correct. I spoke with your manager, your sister, and even text you directly to take full responsibility. I always had love and respect for you. I always wanted to make it right, but making it right looks different for both of us. I want to correct with you, but you wanted to address it on your album. Okay, so let's get into it. So the thing about the conversations now, I've been listening to on TikTok and here on YouTube, and everybody is, some people are siding with Cardi B and others are siding with Latto that she has a right to address this on her album since she is a rapper, and how she feels slighted on the disrespect from Cardi B. And I'm not really on either side, but I will say is that the thing that we're missing in this conversation, that this is female covert narcissism. And everything I said in this video is going to be alleged because I don't want Cardi B coming for me, even though I highly doubt she will see my video. But besides that, if it was ever blown up, I don't want her coming for me. And as a disclaimer, I am not a medical licensed professional and I don't have the credentials to diagnose someone. But what I will say is that Cardi B, she shows signs of a covert narcissism, and we're going to get into that. So the reason why I'm saying that she has covert narcissism, because if you look through her history, she's always playing the victim, and people have felt sorry for her. And so then they buy her album because she paints herself out to be the victim. She's always been passive aggressive. She'll throw shade and then she will hide her hands. Just like in the videos I show the clips of Killa. Now, if you get a chance, check out his TikTok. He does some great social commentary on celebrities. And I showed that to point out the narcissism. Now, first, she goes on there and says that, hey, I'm going to outsell any rapper. And then when it didn't come to fruition, she's backtraveling like, oh, I never said that. And you're comparing me to you, and you should be comparing me to you should be comparing yourself to your peers like Taylor Swift and Rihanna, which those are not her peers because she is a rapper. Nicki Minaj is a rapper. So that's the reason why I showed those clips in the beginning, because I want you to see a pattern of how she addressed things. Now, when it comes to the covert narcissism, let me just go ahead and explain it down. Now, narcissism, as we know, is like very egotistical, very self-centered, very selfish. And when we say narcissism, is equated to man behavior. We always think of a man when it comes down to narcissism. And if we're being honest, when it comes down to NPD disorders, is usually in men. Men have the highest signs of narcissism traits. But females always go under the radar when it comes down to mental illness, especially when it comes to narcissism, is because we don't equate female behavior with narcissism. And we have a lot of narcissism. I'm pretty sure you've seen this narcissist in your family, your cousins, your sister, your brother. I mean, not your brother, your sister, your friends. And we don't really label it because we just think like, oh, she's just being dramatic. This is just her. But we need to start clocking this behavior and move differently with these female narcissists. Because if we're not careful, these female narcissists have a tendency to take us through the mud. Just like a male narcissist can pull us through the mud and pull us through the mud, just pull us through all this tragic shit in our life. Females can do the same thing, and the reason why it goes unnoticed is because it's sneaky. It is never clocked. So with that being said, let me go ahead and break down what a narcissist is. A covert narcissist is the opposite of overt. Instead of it being egotistical and self-centered, it's not upfront. They tend to hide their narcissistic traits by being passive-aggressive, making themselves to be a victim. They use subtle tactics such as the silent treatment, emotional manipulation, gaslighting, guilt tripping. So, you know those people, you might have a friend that might say, hey, oh, your outfit looks good. I didn't know Zara sell plus size outfits. Subtle shade like that. And we just laugh it off as a joke, but actuality, they are showing signs of narcissism. Now, I'm not saying every woman, let me make it clear, not every person that does passive-aggressive shade is a narcissist, but these are traits of narcissism that we need to clock. So, with that being said, they start subtle drama, so they might be talking behind your back to start stuff with other people in your friend group so that you can be isolated. And so for instance, I'll tell you a situation. I had this friend in high school. I was friends with other people besides her in our little friend group. She would come back and say little things like, oh, she was talking shit about you. She was doing this. And then when I confront the friend's like, I never said anything about you. I never said this and that. So she would throw say little things that all the little friends that I had outside our little group, it was something wrong. That person was talking about me. So narcissism, female narcissism works like that. They will start putting in your head that this person was saying this and that for you, or this person was throwing shade at you so that you can start beefing with the other person. So you gotta be careful with those type of females. They're sensitive to criticism. Now you can say something that maybe like, hey, I don't think you should date this guy because this guy, he's a drug dealer. He got 5 baby mamas, and I think you deserve better. The first thing she's gonna come out around, I think you just jealous because no man wants you. You just jealous because I get the best of the best men. So even when you're giving them helpful advice, they always come back and say that you're jealous or try to brush you off. They get mad off of the little criticism that you have. And if we keep it 100, Cardi B shows all these freaking signs. Like, for example, when people like the social media commentary, Jessie Woo, she said something about her relationship with Stefan Diggs, which everybody was addressing the situation, but because Cardi B, I'm gonna say allegedly do not like black women, she targeted her because she was dark skinned, beautiful black woman, by the way, dark skinned, and she had the need to basically attack her looks, start calling her all types of monkey and that she was ugly because she didn't like the fact that what she said in her social commentary. Even though I believe her social commentary was very respectful, because Jessie Woo, even though sometimes I sigh at her, but she does have respectful commentary and she states facts, not opinions. And the fact that she will come after this woman and her looks shows a lot that she cannot take criticism. Another thing is that when it comes to other rappers like Nicki Minaj, she'll always paint herself as a victim of the situation. Like, oh, Nicki Minaj has always had out for me. She talked bad about my daughter, and I had the right to just throw a shoe at her. In actuality, they found no tweets that she was referring to her daughter. Now, she made herself out a victim of the situation, saying that Nicki Minaj was talking about her daughter, which in actuality she wasn't. Well, recently she was, but that's beside the point. And with a covert narcissist, they always like to be in drama. That's why her album is called "Am I the Drama?" Because every time you look up, there's always drama surrounding them. And another thing, when I was looking up female narcissism, they said that what they like to do is basically they will stab you in the back. Like, they would like show concern and empathy that, oh, I really apologize, but behind closed doors they're stabbing you in your back. And based on that apology letter, Cardi B said she never, in my opinion, didn't take accountability for her actions. She making this letter a public apology because, like narcissists, they like to put on a show that they're the good guy, that they were innocent, and that they can't possibly do anything wrong. So she did this letter to show favor on her behalf, and to make it look like Latto was wrong for talking about her on her album. That's why at the end of her sentence, she says, well, you choose to address it on her album. I mean, how else was she going to address it? So you see there how the female narcissist is still her calling her and basically letting her know, her be the bad guy. So she decided to make this a public affair because, like she said, it was a public thing that she addressed. The audio leak was public, so she felt the need to apologize publicly, which is a goddamn lie, because honestly, if that audio call was never leaked, do you honestly think she would apologize to Latto? And the only reason why she's apologizing and making it public is to make herself look like the good person, to paint a narrative that she was the victim of the situation, even though it was Latto. But if it would never got leaked, she would never said anything. And I feel like a personal call, she should have picked up the phone and said, hey, especially the day after it was leaked, saying, hey, I didn't feel this way. I was angry. But the fact that she's basically gaslighting her and making it public, and then try to say, oh, I'm going to give her Hermes bag, just shows that she's the situation. And again, making herself like the victim and playing these emotional games, like playing these mind games that, oh, I know I was just mad, I was pregnant, just emotional manipulation to make it seem like she was the victim and that Latto should not, her behavior. In my opinion, I believe Latto did the right thing by not addressing it in her music and not allowing her to manipulate. And to be honest with you, this is a blessing in disguise in Latto's situation, because now she knows how she truly feels. When Latto was addressing it in the Breakfast Club interview, she said that, I thought we were friends. That's why I rushed to the studio, even though I was pregnant, so that I can put a verse on her album to help her album sales. And the fact that the auto leak came out 2 days later saying that she was a pussy, she felt some type of way because she really thought they had a genuine friendship. And when you come down to female narcissism, they are nobody's friend. They only use other people for their personal gain or personal or financial gain. And since they are in the same industry, she wanted to use Latto's clout, her lyricism, to help her sell her album so that she can outsell Nicki Minaj, which she failed to do. But and again, I'm not a barb. I'm not really a rap girly type of female, but I just like to have social commentary because it lines up with our personal lives. So this is how you're going to deal with a female narcissist. Now, I know when it comes down to female narcissists, especially the role they play in your life can be very tricky because this female narcissist could be your boss, it can be your coworker, it can be your sister, it can be your mother. And you have to know how to deal with them effectively and accordingly based on your level, how much you need them in your life, how much important factor they play in your life. So if they are an important factor, like I said, supervisors that you need for payment, I would say if you're dealing with a bitch like this, my obviously take on it is find another job. But if you can't find a job another way and you have to deal with it, your best option is to stonewall. Don't give them any type of, don't get sucked into their emotional manipulation. So if they want you to go in and kiss their ass, just make your, basically make your response, don't give them no reaction. So if they start yelling, screaming and stuff, just go yes or no, just stay silent, just stay quiet. Don't give them any emotional reaction. Like if they ask you about your weekend, oh, it's fine. And just basically just starve them off of attention, because usually when a narcissist can't get much out of you, they move on to next. And that leads me to my next point. When it comes down to manipulate, don't let them manipulate you. Call them out when they bullshit. Because when you start calling them out on their bullshit and you recognize their manipulation tactics, a narcissist is going to get bored and they're going to move on to the next victim, because if they can't manipulate or control you, they have no use for you in their life. So therefore, they're going to move on to the next person. So don't let them manipulate you emotionally. Call them out on their behavior. So if you, for example, they say, oh, what's a good way of saying this? For example, they try blaming you. They'll say, you always not showing up for me. I asked you to do a favor and you never come up. And you're like, no, that's not true. I showed up for you this time, that time. I'm not doing anything because you want me to. I'm going to tell you what I want to do. And if they don't like it, oh well. And my third and last one is cut them out, block them. If you, like I said, if you can, and if you're in a situation, just cease no contact. If you can't do that automatically, just have less, less of interaction. Just slowly start cutting them off, and don't give in to the emotional tactic. I'm really happy for Latto. Latto handled the situation maturely and wisely, in my personal opinion, because instead of her taking the Hermes bag and be like, oh yes, Cardi, I accept your apology. You know, we girls. She just said, fuck that bag and fuck you too. And then she moved on. She put in the beef, and I'm pretty sure she's just gonna move on from there. So the reason why I'm highlighting this situation is because we can learn so much from that, like how you deal with the female narcissist. Because like I said, female narcissism show up in all aspects of our life. And it's not like the male narcissist. It's sneaky, and that's how they get away with so much for so long, because we never clock the behavior. So if you see one like that, just move on accordingly. Don't let them manipulate you. And like I said, use Latto's example by just saying, fuck you, and I'm not accepting you back, and call her out on her behavior. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video, is to point out narcissism and start moving differently, spiritually and mentally, because these damn vampires will suck these energy vampires will suck the life out of you if you're not careful. So you want to make sure that you're not letting them drain your energy and take from you, because they will drag you through the mud. They will basically make your life a living hell. And sometimes, I'm not saying they'll go to necessary violence and kill you, but they'll probably set you up in a situation where you can get physically, emotionally, and mentally harmed. So be careful of these women. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, so that we can call out this behavior and move on and be better women. Until next time, I see you in the next video.